Hi, if you're a digital person and let's say your business or your line of work is connected digitally, then this message is going to be very important for you because I'm going to be making certain predictions on how this future world is going to look like in an AI driven sense, right? So hear me out. So if you look at this entire digital world, last 10 to maybe 20 years, it has fashioned itself in two core areas, right? So if you look at the first area, it is a search driven world. So there are big players already in it. Like for example, there's Google, and the others also. But actually, it is a search driven world, right? Now, in this search driven world, there are certain setups or certain areas which has formed, right? For example, one is the website, right? If you look at the website, it's a core part of the search driven world. So what usually happens is, let's say if I'm a consumer, right, and if I get up in the morning and I want to find a product or service, or if I want to, let's say, visit a hotel or buy a jersey or buy a shoe, I would go into the search world and I would search. Now the search world, these big players, let's say for example Google, who is actually driving this world, and others also there, right? Now, these people have set up a kind of a dominion, a set of a structure, and they kept like people like who own websites, right, to fall into their structure. So they say, okay, this is the way you got to publish the article. You got to have a website. You got to use SEO. You got to use certain keywords, and you're actually plugging into that search world. Now, the search world is, let's say, controlled by Google, right? Google waits till you come into this world and you search something, and Google tries to give you that answer based on all these websites and how these people fight for that position. They come and give you the answer, right? This is one part of the world, which is a search driven world, right? The other part, actually, which started somewhere around 2005, like post that era started, which is actually the social world, right? Social world actually is a community driven word. So social word, instead of like what we call a pull, right, a social word actually works on a push strategy, right? So social world, what it says is that, let's say again, there are like certain areas which can, unlike a website, you have a Facebook page, you have an Instagram. Well, what they do is, right, they encourage, they incentivize any content creator or anybody who creates content, and they create, amass all this content into a particular place, right? They call it like a community. Now once you go into that community, you're not actually searching, right? You're partaking, or you're part of this world. So as you're walking along, these social worlds figure out how to figure out your intent, using certain strategic, actions. They actually find out your intent, and as you experience this social world, they push this information to you, right? So for example, you're maybe searching for a hotel, and suddenly you find a lot of videos coming about hotels, a kind of a push theory. The other one is more like a pull theory, right? So one is this social world, and the other one is this the search world, right? So these are the two worlds what we have. Now, for the first time in history, this entire dominion, the way we have structured ourselves, the way we have been taught to do certain things, is going to completely radically change. It's going to turn upside down. Why? Because all these days, these two worlds, like let's say for example Google, let's say, who runs the search world, and let's say Instagram, let's say for example, who runs, let's say, the social world, they have been controlling everything for humans. Like for example, if it's me, they control everything. They say, this is the app, you have to go, right? This is the conditions that you can use the app under. If you do this, it's fine. If you don't do this, I can ban you, and after that I can't even do anything. It's so rigorous kind of a process to even get your web account back online, right? Same thing goes for the search word. They say, this is the way you got to structure it. Then they come up with these formulas, they come up with these conditions. They say it's a Google optimization code, and then they say if it is beyond 80%, we'll favor you. If it's under 80%, will penalize you. So these dominions like have been created, right? Now, first time in history, everything is going to change upside down, and people, the consumer, is going to get precedence and power. So we are entering a world where AI, right? Now, AI also, you must understand, these big companies are still trying to control AI to a great extent, but the Far East and other companies, emerging markets, are coming up with his own models, especially open source coming in, is going to change. That I think is going to change, right? So let's assume that we are like 1 year, 2 years down the road. What's going to happen is that, let's say, if I'm a user, I'm going to be really good in AI, and I'm going to have my AI twin or my representation in AI, which is going to do all the work. So these AI twins, collective of AI twins or AI personas, is going to control these worlds, right? So they are gonna research for you. It doesn't matter the search, forget about it. Doesn't matter the social. These AI twins or the AI representation of yourself is going to go do all the hard work, and they are going to write the rules. So these big players are really going to have to think upside down and figure this whole thing out. I truly believe the entire thing is going to get decentralized. The dominion world, which is being controlled by the big techs, are coming down, and this AI world completely decentralized. The power is going to go back to consumers, and the consumers are going to rewrite the rules of how the entire thing is going to be played out, right? So that is my prediction. How is it going to affect a business? That's a good question, right? Let's say, for example, you have a hotel, right? You're a owner of a boutique hotel, and let's say right now you have certain traditional things that you're used to, right? So you have a website, you're optimizing it, then you have social media, you are running ads on that, and you're used to a certain structure because of that dominion which is already created, right? Because it is Google or Instagram which decides what kind of business you're going to get. But with the new trend, the user who is going to look at your hotel is not that real user. It's going to be the AI representation of the user. Then it's going to be very interesting to see how this whole thing is going to pan out, right? I think the entire thing will change. It's going to be very interesting to see how this pans out. There is going to be a set of users who foresee this and get ready for it, right? So they are going to go into these technologies today, and they are going to figure this out, and they are going to adapt with these AI technologies. But at the same time, there is going to be a big set of users who are used to that traditional model, and unfortunately their entire trend will die off, right? So we will have to wait and see how this pans out. I hope you found this interesting. If you have any questions, drop me a comment and I'll be more than happy to answer it. Thank you.